This video is for students who are adding fractions and struggling adding fractions. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to add fractions here. We have two numbers here, which is 2/3 plus 1/4. And obviously what most people do is they just add both the numerator and then they add the denominator together and get the wrong answer. This, of course, is not the right answer. It's not the way to add fractions. But I did want to demonstrate it so that you could see it. Actually, adding fractions is just like any other addition problem. We have to make sure that we're adding the same thing. You see, 2/3 is a different number than 1/4. These are two kinds of things. If you can think of it as maybe an orange and then possibly an apple, you know. So if you have an orange and an apple, you can't take an orange and an apple and put them together. Both of them are just two different things. They just can't be put together. So 2/3 and the same thing is true for 2/3 and 1/4. They are like trying to add two unlike things together. Actually, what you have to do is make them into the same kind of number and put them in the same world, basically. And the way we do that is by finding the common denominator. One of the ways we can find the common denominator between the denominators here, which are the 3 and the 4, one of the ways we find the common denominator is simply by multiplying them together. But here's the thing. If we multiply the denominators together, you can't multiply the denominators together in a fraction without actually multiplying the numerators as well, because it is, in fact, the entire number that we're after. So we're going to take the 4 and multiply it times the 2/3 here. So we're going to say 4 times 2/3, which is our denominator from our next number. And then we're going to take the denominator of the 2/3 and put it beside the 1/4. And we're going to multiply those two numbers together too. And then we're going to come up with a common denominator, and the common denominator will be 12, because 4 times 3 is 12. On both sides here, you can see 4 times 3 is 12, or 4 times 3 is 12. So we're going to have a common denominator of 12. And that 12 is going to be actually joined by 4 times 2 in the first term, which is 4 times 2 is 8. And then in the second number here, 1 times 3 is going to be 3. So you see what we've done. We've just taken these numbers and multiplied them times one another. Alright, so now we have a number that we can actually add together. Remember, we keep the denominator the same, and what we do is we're just going to bring the denominator over, and on top of that we're going to add, what is 8 plus 3? 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. So our new fraction is going to be 11 over 12. And so I hope that this helps you to add unlike denominators.